Good afternoon. The Midday News. I am Mariam Ahmad. The National Security Council has warned that it will not accept the push for a change of government in the country and has described the use of foreign flags as treasonous. This came against the backdrop of a trending video of some protesters openly inviting the military to take over government. The Chief of the First Staff, General Christopher Musa, who spoke for the council after the meeting presided over by President Bola Tinubu at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, said the military will go after protesters bearing foreign flags, which impinges on the sovereignty of the country. General Musa also noted that the End Bad Governance, which started as a peaceful protest, has turned to riot, saying that as previously hinted, the military has decided to move in as a result. The Economic Community of West African States Commission has expressed concern over the ongoing protests in Nigeria, lamenting reports of violence, fatalities, and property destruction. In a statement, ECOWAS emphasized the right of citizens to peaceful protest as enshrined in the 2001 ECOWAS Supplementary Protocol on Democracy and Good Governance and Nigeria's 1999 Constitution. The Commission extended condolences to the families of those who have died and expressed sympathy with the Nigerian government and its people over the losses incurred. The Commission also welcomed the recent State of the Nation address by President Bola Tinubu. ECOWAS urged protesters and all stakeholders to heed the President's call for inclusive dialogue to address grievances and ensure peace and security in Nigeria and the wider ECOWAS region. The federal government has concluded plans to sell 50 kg bag of rice at 40,000 naira to public servants with a view to alleviating the food crisis in the nation and its effects on Nigerians. This was disclosed in a letter from the Federal Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, which was signed by the Director of Human Resources of the Ministry, Jayesimi Abimbola. The letter said all interested staff members were to complete a Google form on the OHCSF website and submit it to the Director of Human Resources for endorsement. It's noted that payment and the distribution of the rice will be coordinated by designated officers, while the chairman, Joint Union Council of the Ministry, would serve as an observer for transparency reasons in the course of the exercise. Meanwhile, the federal government had recently said it had created centers across the country where Nigerians could purchase 50 kg bags of rice for 40,000 naira. Federal government has been urged to look at the crash in the prices of drugs following the executive order recently signed by President Bola Tinubu waiving import duties or tariffs on pharmaceutical raw materials, equipment, and other essentials. The President, Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, Professor Cyril Usifo, says this while speaking with newsmen in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Professor Usifo said such a presidential initiative will bring down the prices of medicines in the country. He said since the pronouncement, pharmacists had been having quarterly meetings with the coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Pate, on how to tackle the challenges and chart the way forward. The Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has squashed the controversial sales of the federal government proposed national carrier, the Nigeria Air Limited, to Ethiopian Airlines as it declared the deal a null and void transaction. Justice Ambrose Lewis Alagwa also ruled that any further action on the proposed establishment of the said national carrier Nigeria Air by the federal government should be stopped. The Federal High Court ruled further that all the relief sought are granted except for the relief asking for 2 billion naira as damages for the injuries suffered by the plaintiffs as a result of their wrongful exclusion action and unlawful bidding, as well as selection processes for the Nigeria Hair Project. And now from sports, the Tigers point guard Ezinne Kalu says there is more to come from the team during their historic Paris 2024 Olympics campaign. The New Jersey-born three-time Afrobasket winner spoke after the team defeated Canada 79-70 in the last Group B game, setting up a semi-final face-off against the USA tomorrow in Bursina Arena on the banks of the Sena River. Speaking ahead of the much-anticipated clash with the USA, Kalu, who has already delivered at the biggest events, including Tokyo 2020 and the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2018, said more should be expected from the team. Rena Wakama's team were pitted against higher-ranked Australia, France, and Canada for the women's basketball tournament, but they braced the odds to progress from the group. It will be recalled that the Tigers opened their campaign with a surprising 75-54 victory against Australia, their first win in the Olympics in 20 years, and lost by the same margin to France in their second game before claiming the scalp of Canada, becoming the first African team to make it beyond the group phase in the history of Olympic basketball. And now from the foreign scene, the chief administrator of Wallachia Zone, Samuel Fola, says more than 300 people have been evacuated from the area in Kindo Didaye district, and that the number of those unaccounted for remains unknown. Mr. Fola said children are among the dead and evacuated more than 300 people as a precaution in anticipation of yet another likely major landslide. Meanwhile, according to the regional government, frantic rescue efforts is underway in the Wallachia area. Report says the landslide appeared to be less deadly than one that occurred last month in another area in southern Ethiopia, where more than 200 people were killed. Landslides are common during Ethiopia's rainy season, which started in July and is expected to last until mid-September. Still on the foreign scene, a helicopter pilot from New Zealand has been killed in the Indonesia region of Papua. According to the police spokesperson, Sebi Sambom, stated that Glenn Collins was killed by a pro-independence group known as Free Papua Organization. Sambom told newsmen that he had not been able to verify the Indonesian authorities' claim. This came nearly a year and a half after the abduction of another pilot from New Zealand, Philip Burtons, who remains in captivity. Authorities said the group responsible for Mr. Collins' death is the same that is holding Mr. Martins, adding that he was killed when rebels rounded up those on board, including 4 passengers, after they landed in an isolated area in the central Papua province. The spokesperson for the police special operation in Papua, Bayu Suseno, claimed the pilot's body was taken to the helicopter and then burned along with the aircraft in Alama district, which can only be accessed by helicopter. That ends the midday news on OSBC TV. Join us at 3 for the state's news. It was edited by Michael Adeniyi. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.